It's great to see your faces here at Wimberley Kidz Church. So all month long, we have been talking about integrity. You guys remember what integrity means? Yeah, integrity is choosing to be truthful in whatever you say and do. It means that you can drop the act and stop pretending to be something that you're not. You choose to be honest and truthful in every way. You choose to follow Jesus in your words and your actions. Sorry, kind of forgot I was wearing that. So this is kind of part of a game that we're going to do. But anyway, I can drop this act, right? So it's going to be part of a really fun game that we're going to do in just a minute about revealing the truth. Animal edition. But before we play the game, I want to see who's here with us. All right, let's see. Hi, Bob. Hi, Lydia. It's great to see you, Brenly. Hey, hi, Libby. I'm so glad you guys are all here with us at Kidz Church. Okay, you guys ready to hear about this game? All right, so what you're going to need to do, have you guys played Four Corners? So it's sort of like that. You're going to need to designate one corner in your room for an owl, a bear, a monkey, and a tiger. And you can put up papers like with images if you want to, and you can download those from the description in this video if that helps. Helps you remember which corner is which. So I'm going to read out a trivia question about some animals and some 4 possible answers. One of those answers will be true. You'll see on your screen that there's a picture with each animal that represents that answer, okay? And then you're going to need to go to the corner that you think is the right answer. So does that make sense? All right, are you guys ready to try and play? Okay, first question. What are baby goats called? Cubs, kids, foals, or pups? All right, run to the corner that you think is the right answer. They're called kids. So does that mean that anybody who comes to Kidz Church is a baby goat? Okay, question number 2. A baby kangaroo is about the size of which of these things when it's born? A watermelon, a lima bean, a plum, or a grapefruit? Okay, go to the corner with your answer. A newborn kangaroo is tiny. It's the size of a lima bean. Do you guys like lima beans? I do. Okay, one more question. All right, what color is a polar bear's skin? White, black, red, or pink? All right, make your choice. If you went to the bear corner, you got it right. Polar bears have black skin. Who knew? Okay, well done, everybody. You guys clearly knew a lot of truth when it came to animal facts. And maybe you learned some things that you didn't know before, like me, like the color of a polar bear's skin. I had no idea. Okay. Today in our Bible story, we're going to take a really close look at one of my absolute favorite Bible verses. It's Philippians 4:8. Let's read it together, okay? Because it's so fantastic. Finally, brothers and sisters, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about these things. It's great to have a bunch of truthful facts in our brains for games like our animal trivia or to make sure we do well on a math test. But today's verse tells us that there are some things that we really need to focus on as followers of Jesus.
The Bible. It's 66 books of history, stories, letters, and poetry that fit together to form God's one big story. The epic adventure of how He created us and loves us so much that He made a way to rescue us. As we travel through the Bible, from Genesis to Revelation, we discover people who met God and found their lives changed forever. Now, for an amazing story. Inspired by the book of Philippians, chapter 4, verse 8.
Horatio liked to keep track of things in his head. 5 kinds of cereal in the cabinet. 17 braids on his sister Nala's head. 2 voicemail messages left on his parents' landline phone.
Seriously, Mom? You are so stuck in the 1990s.
Horatio was especially good at keeping track of things that went wrong.
Number 1, we're out of chocolate frosted sugar bomb cereal.
Horatio's mother did not always appreciate his lists.
I did not buy that. Your dad bought that.
Number 2, it is freezing in here.
Put on a sweater.
Number 3, Miss Watson is making us do a group project and they are the worst because everyone else drags me down.
Horatio, can you please focus on something positive for once?
Just keeping it real.
Oh, I know about positive stuff. Miss Christie told us.
Horatio's little sister Nala began rummaging around in the stacks of random paper on the counter.
There is nothing positive about this morning, and I'm positive about that.
Nala pulled out a scribbled-on handout and waved it triumphantly.
Philippians 4:8.
Do not read me a coloring sheet.
Finally, my brothers and sisters, always think about what is true. Think about what is noble, right, and pure.
Mom, make her stop bugging me.
No, this is good.
Think about what is lovely and worthy of respect. If anything is excellent or worthy of praise, think about those kinds of things.
Horatio just glared and checked out the lunch that Mom had packed.
Is this strawberry jam in my sandwich? You know I only eat apricot jam.
Over the next 2 hours, Horatio counted dozens of annoying things.
Number 1, this bus stinks like dirty socks stuffed with Cheetos. Number 2, the classroom door needs some WD-40. Number 3, Miss Watson is wearing yellow, and I hate yellow. Number 4, this pencil is making a giant callus on my finger. Number 5, group projects are still the worst. Number 6, it's way too hot over here.
And to make matters worse, Miss Watson had put Tish James in charge of the group. Ugh.
So, we get to do a report on Cape Hatteras Lighthouse. I'll write the history, and Jordan, you can paint a picture, and Horatio, you research stuff about the land and animals around it.
Number 7, Tish is super bossy.
Oh, and here's a picture of the lighthouse.
Tish held up a glossy photograph and Horatio opened his mouth ready to complain about how boring lighthouses were. But he couldn't do it. Hatteras Lighthouse, spiraling into the sunset sky, was breathtaking. He could picture walking the beach and waves crashing as the warm light glowed overhead. And Horatio couldn't help hearing an echo of his little sister's voice.
Think about what is lovely and worthy of respect.
There it was, right in front of his face. Horatio found brand new thoughts forming in his brain.
Hey, that looks really cool. That's amazing.
It was as if a switch had flipped in Horatio's head. After seeing one good thing, he started to see more. Jordan had brought in some paintings he had done.
Number 1, Jordan, you are a really great artist.
Miss Watson helped Horatio solve some tough fractions by drawing a funny sketch.
Number 2, Miss Watson is a super creative teacher.
Mom had packed homemade cookies in Horatio's lunch.
Number 3, my mom makes the best chocolate chip cookies on the planet. Who wants to share?
By the time Horatio got off the school bus,
Number 4, Mr. Rob drove us right up to our house because of the rain.
he was actually smiling. Mom met them at the door.
Hey kids, how was school?
At that moment, Nala shook out her wet umbrella all over Horatio. And for a moment, Horatio frowned. Nala braced herself.
Sorry.
Number 5, I have a closet full of dry clothes upstairs.
Nala's eyebrows shot way up.
What happened to you?
Nothing. I just realized I've got some pretty great things to focus on.
So your day went okay?
Number 6, it was positively awesome.
Horatio beamed and ran upstairs to change his wet shirt. He had a lot of brand new lists to make up in his head.
So in Philippians 4:8, it reminds us that we need to focus on what is true. Just like Horatio figured out in the story, that when we want to live with integrity, it helps to have a mind full of truthfulness. And truthfulness is not just about facts, right? It's about focusing on what's real in our lives. You guys, we can focus on the yucky stuff like Horatio did at the beginning, but in Philippians 4:8, that stuff that we focus on, it lifts up our spirits and helps us make wise choices. Check out what some of our friends have to say about it.
Hey y'all, I'm currently active in a couple of leadership roles, and a lot of eyes are on me, judging my every move and my decisions. And while this is often quite stressful and downright unnerving, I have to train myself to fall back on the truth, which is that as long as I'm doing what's right in the eyes of God, everything will be okay. And being a good leader is not always easy. Often it's not easy. And here are some words from a pastor I heard years ago that have resonated with me and have really helped me in these tough situations. Obey the Lord and leave all the consequences to God.
When I think of this verse, I think of a conversation I'm having with another friend. So what I do with this verse is I put it through my brain and I think, is what I'm saying to my friend true, nice, and will it help them in any way? So next time when you're talking to a friend, you should think of Philippians chapter 4:8 to help you out. Bye.
Hi there, I'm Mary Gale. I wanted to share a little story with you about my granddaughter Sydney, who's really good at seeing things that are beautiful and fun, and even when she's a little bit scared. One night we were going out for a walk and it was dark, and Sydney's grown up mainly in the city, so sometimes where we are in the country looks pretty dark to her when we go out. But she's getting where she enjoys being out at night, and she's being able to get over being scared of the dark and looking around and noticing things. And one night when we were walking along and the moon was out, she was looking at the ground for a minute, and then she said, "Grandma, look." And she picked up a little rock that just glistened in the moonlight, and I hadn't even noticed it, but she just loved it, and it really did sparkle in the moonlight, and she wanted to bring it home. And I was really proud of her because I knew that the nighttime is scary for her sometime, but even though that night was kind of dark and the moonlight was just beginning to come out, she noticed that beautiful sparkle of light. And she does that a lot. She'll see a flower in the weeds, and I'll be looking at all the weeds that need to be picked, and Sydney will see the flower. So it's a special gift to be able to see the beautiful things that God's put all around us, and Sydney does that for me a lot.
Hey guys, it's me, Emma, and I'm going to be telling you guys what the verse Philippians chapter 4 verse 8 means to me. And this is what I think of it as. What we put into our mind determines what comes out in our words and actions. So yeah, thank you guys and have a great rest of your day. Peace out.
Philippians 4:8 is one of my most favorite verses of all time. I had a plaque hanging in my bathroom actually for years and years, and every morning when I'd get up, I'd read it. And it just kind of helped me to focus on what was important and what needed to be a priority day to day. With the kids, both my personal kids and my school kids, I try to focus with them on what are we doing right today? Okay, there's so many things that maybe we might have hiccups about, or, maybe not do as perfectly as we'd like, but what are we doing right? Let's concentrate on those things. Let's do those over again. Let's build our confidence so that we know that we're able to do great things. The other part of the verse that I really like is the part about being true. I try with my kids to be our true selves, and whether that's pretty or ugly or messy or joyful or whatever that is, we honor that and we name it, and we move on from it. And so those are two of my favorite parts about Philippians 4:8. Just focus on what is the positive in your life. Focus on what is around you that is positive. Thanks.
That was awesome. The great thing about this verse is that it's open to so much imagination. Did you hear all of those different ways to focus on the good stuff and the true stuff and the lovely stuff? Because my whatever is lovely might be drinking coffee with my bestie, and yours might be taking a hike at the Blue Hole Trail or something. So even if you hate coffee and you don't really think that you have a bestie, you're not excluded from focusing on this verse. There's always ways that you can find to focus on what's true. And when we are filled up with the good and the excellent things on our inside, our actions are going to follow. It's really hard to be mean or dishonest when we're filled up with goodness, when we have focused on what's pure and what's right and what's true. So I really hope that you guys have a fantastic time this week focusing on those things. And make sure to tune in next week because we're starting a new month. Can you believe it? With a brand new Life app. It's going to be all about gratitude. You won't want to miss it. I'll see you then. Peace and love.